workers have died. Millions upon millions of gallons of oil have spilled into the Gulf. Entire ecosystems have been destroyed. Workers and families have lost their livelihoods and jobs from one of the greatest acts of environmental violence in U.S. history. And so because of BP's executives have decided to allow such an event to occur, we're calling for the seizure of BP's assets so that they'll be placed into a trust to provide for the immediate relief to working people throughout the Gulf of Mexico, to all the states in that region. We need to rebuild their livelihoods, bring back their jobs, homes and businesses, all that have been destroyed. So until that happens, we'll be out here remaining in the streets to say, seize BP! Seize BP! Seize BP!
My name is Sarah Sloan, and I'm an organizer with the Seize BP campaign.
And Sarah, what's going on today here? We're down at the Inner Harbor in Baltimore.
We're rallying here today in Baltimore as part of a national week of action where there's protests taking place in 50 different cities around the country. We demonstrated on Thursday in Washington, D.C., in Chicago, in New York City. Today people are demonstrating from Los Angeles to Austin, Texas, to several cities in Florida, to other places all over the country as part of a nationwide effort to demand that the U.S. government seize BP's assets, place those assets in trust, and use that to provide comprehensive and immediate relief to those negatively impacted by the disaster that's unfolding in the Gulf of Mexico.
You feel like you're making some impact because the Attorney General, I understand, is going to open up a criminal probe, which where that's going to go, I don't know, but it seems he's listening to somebody.
Right. Well, there's definitely a reaction going on right now in the Obama administration where before they were basically acting as BP's spokesperson, and now they're trying to distance themselves somewhat from BP. However, we feel that a criminal probe really misses the point. The question for us isn't whether BP broke the law, because we know that BP broke the law. The point is that right now there are tens of thousands of people who are suffering as a result of BP's actions. A criminal probe will go on for years, and it will give time for BP to reorganize. Another big oil company may take them over. They may file for bankruptcy. They have a number of measures they can take to get out of paying out the claims and the damages that they owe to the people who are negatively affected. That's why we have this campaign to seize BP's assets, because it's a course of action that can provide immediate and complete and comprehensive relief, which is needed right now for the people who need to pay their rent this month and the people who need to put food on the tables tonight and tomorrow night. This is a plan of action that will meet their needs.
Anything else?
Well, this is part of a growing movement at seizebp.org. There's an online petition that has been signed by tens of thousands of people over the last month. So everyone should go to seizebp.org and sign that petition, and they should also participate in coming activities, actions, demonstrations, marches, banner drops, sit-ins that will be taking place in cities and states around the country. We believe that there is a legal basis for the U.S. government to carry out this seizure of BP's assets, but they will not do it, just like they won't do anything progressive, just like they won't serve justice in any way unless there's a movement of people demanding it. So we encourage people to join us, to take to the streets and be a part of this movement, because for those of us who are outside of the Gulf Coast, we must stand with the working people there who right now are suffering tremendously and who deserve an adequate response from the U.S. government.
Okay, thanks so much, Sarah.
Thank you.
And what is your name, young lady?
My name is Jen Pulaski. I'm from Bel Air, Maryland.
And what are these photos and all mean for you, Jen?
When I was in high school, I traveled to the Florida Keys and did basically a school trip for about a week. Went on a sailboat and traveled the Keys by boat, got to snorkel. I'm a scuba diver. Really impacted the way I feel about the environment and how important and crucial it is to us as humans. And to see something like this oil spill potentially affect this area, for me, it's heart-wrenching. It really is. And I'll be traveling to the Keys in September, and if there is evidence of the oil spill along, down there, I'll be videotaping it, I'll be documenting it, posting it to my Facebook page, my YouTube account. So check it out.
It does. I guess, Jen, it's just so huge, so monumental. monumental that one of the most pristine waters on the planet, the Gulf of Mexico, is now a disaster.
It is. It's an amazing place. If you've never been there, you have to see it really to understand how great it is. But Dry Tortugas National Park is a national treasure, and to see this affected or potentially affected is just unbelievable. How we as humans could let this happen. It really is.
Anything else, Jen?
I think that's it.
Okay, let me just take a closer look at some of the photos here. These are the creatures who are just inundated with the results of the negligence of BP, the gross negligence at least, and maybe criminal negligence on top of that. All right, thanks so much, Jen.
Thank you.
Sure. Alex Bennett.
Now, Alex, why are you participating in this demonstration here down at the Inner Harbor?
I'm participating in this demonstration because one thing that maybe makes me more worried than anything else is that human beings are going to destroy the environment, the wealth of the Earth's resources that allow us to have such a vast and advanced civilization before we're able to really realize our ultimate potential as human beings. And I think we can build a different kind of society that's not based on companies like BP profiting billions and billions of dollars while they simultaneously destroy the environment, destroy entire ecosystems. I think we can build a society that's based on human need, that's not based on greed, that is not based on profit and warfare. Of course, the oil industry, I think, is also directly or indirectly responsible for the wars that are going on in the Middle East and all of that. I think it's time for us to say we've had enough of this kind of system, of this kind of industry, having power and control over our lives and over nature, and taking some democratic measures in any way we can to assert the voices of regular common people who are working, who actually are keeping society going in the ways that we need, trying to get our voices heard out here on the streets with all the people around us, try to build something towards a different way of doing things, a way that produces a sustainable environment and that meets people's needs rather than dumping oil into the ocean without any kind of real plan to clean it up. After all, it's over 20 years after the Exxon Valdez spill, and they still have not paid the full amount that the government demanded that they pay for the victims of that disaster. They've continued to make billions and billions of dollars a year. BP will continue to do that unless we take a stand now, when they're vulnerable, when their drive for profit is clear and out in the open, and try to educate ourselves and other people here in Baltimore and around the country and everywhere else in the world about how society really works and how it actually could work in a better, more humane way of doing things. So that's why I'm out here today, and I come out for lots of different protests and causes, and this is just part of that.
Give me your name again.
Alex Bennett.
All right, thanks, Alex.
Thank you.